Juarez. I don't know how you pronounce it. Hey, I'm back. Awesome. Where is it? This is what we're listening to. This doesn't help you. There's no information on the cover. This is a recent find. A long-time want-lister. Not massively expensive, but just in that price bracket that is not expensive enough for Discogs and not cheap enough, you know, to buy locally. This is a collaboration between 3 artists. One of them is from New Zealand. Funnily enough, this is all hand screen printed, and the only information is written in like a embossed thing, cream on cream, and I've had a bit to drink and it's hard to read in this light. I do know that Alistair Galbraith is on here and Richard Youngs is on here. He's also 2 experimental drone sound people, and the other person is Nielsen, and I've forgotten his first name, but the album's called Belsayer Time, BELSAYER Time. Yeah, this is a collaboration between 3 musicians. I'm a big fan of Alistair Galbraith. So yeah, I'm really happy to grab this one. As you can sort of hear, it's like a drone record, an ambient record. It's got a lot of texture in it. It's really great. Yeah, I love it. Anyway, I'm about to crack into a whiskey. A Japanese whiskey, which is all the rage right now in the whiskey world. Japanese whiskies are the things to get. I did a bit of research, but it's always hard to tell. A bit of YouTubing to find out, you know, what are the recommended whiskies to get. This got rated as like one of the low cost, in terms of bang for buck, in terms of the great Japanese whiskies. This is the one to go for. It's just called Nikka Whiskey from the Back Barrel. I read that Nikka is one of the northernmost whiskey distilleries in Japan, and the guy he used to work for Suntory for many years, and he left and created his own thing. This is very highly rated. Now, being a very visual person, a graphical person, the bottle did help sell it for me. I just love how absolutely minimal that is, that label there. It just feels very special, very simple. There's nothing too elaborate about the packaging. Now, when I taste this, I taste like mince pies. Like, I don't know if you guys have them, I guess you would in the US, like Christmas mince pies, like fruit mince and sugar. That's kind of what I get from this, but quite clean. Like it's definitely, I'm used to drinking a lot of smoky whiskies, but this is very very clean in comparison. But yeah, it kind of has a warming, almost like a Christmassy flavour to it. It's really nice. Cool. Anyway, so that's what we're going to have during this video. Cheers guys, hope you're doing well. So earlier I filmed a video that was all jazz. This is everything else. And if anything, I'm diverse on this channel. I'll always try and mix it up and show a whole variety of things. Some grails in here, for sure. I mean, the first one is a big grail for me. To the point where I can't believe I got this record. This is the 4 Live at the Wits Trials. This is an original UK pressing that was essentially a dead stock copy. As you can see here, it is absolutely mint. You know, I think it's been played maybe once, just because it was not sealed. It comes with the original inner sleeve here, and there's nothing into here. Anyway, on is it Step Forward? Records. It might not be Step Forward. Yeah, it is Step Forward Records this early. Geez, this is the first full record, isn't it? Live at the Witch Trials. You know, what are the big tracks on here? So, you know, Live at the Witch Trials, not really a big track, although it's a title track. Rebellious Jukebox, No Christmas for John Keys, probably two, you know, the more well-known tracks off this. I think this is one of my favourite fall records, so I was really happy to get it. And I can say, and this is what I didn't expect this at all, this is one of the best sounding records in the collection. I cannot believe how great this sounds. It absolutely just pumps out of the speakers. I'm so tempted to put it on for you guys, just so you can hear it. Should I? Do you want to hear the fall? Or I could put on this nice drone record in the background. I suppose I should leave this on in the background, I suppose. I've got a lot to get through, so I better not talk too much. So that was a massive want lister. I also got, actually, you know, this is probably my most wanted fall record, and I wanted to get an early pressing of it, and that's Hex Induction Hour, which is the first fall record I fully fell in love with and first that I fully understood. You know, I mean, what helps is the fact that it's got the classical on it, which is probably the most catchy and accessible full track. It's like the most, it is a classic fall track. It's got the double drummers happening. It's like the easiest to like. This is it's not an original UK pressing, but it's an original New Zealand pressing on Camera Records. Yeah, in really great shape. Is it Gap Camera? Yeah, so again, these were at a store that I ended up trading stuff for. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing what you can get with trade money, you know, like I'm a massive fan of trading things in for stuff that I really love, you know. You know, these records are probably slightly out of my price range to buy them all, you know, like that. These days, anyway. But to be able to trade for stuff, you know, is fantastic. I mean, my record collection, I reckon, has been sitting around 800 for like the past 2 or 3 years now, just because I have been trading, you know, back and forth. It hasn't grown as much, you know. In the first sort of 5 or 6 years, it just, you know, one to sort of, it got up to almost 1,000 at one point, and now I've managed to like trim it back and keep it around 900, which I'm really happy with. Anyway, onwards and upwards. That was some post-punk. The next one is something that both Roger Coleman and Teddy showed, and I think Mike, you're a big fan of this. I'm pretty sure. In fact, I'm sure you're a big fan of this record. It's been on my radar for a while, and I found it half price at a record store here, so I grabbed it. This is Terry Allen Juarez. I don't know how you pronounce it. Juarez. Fucking hell. Yeah, wow. This is you know, it's hard to describe. It's a concept album based you know, in the regions around the border of, you know, South America. Sorry, the southern states of America and Mexico and California, and it's a concept album, but it's a story that focuses on two couples and, you know, them crossing the border, and there's stories about life in border towns, and it sounds like outlaw country. I don't know how to describe it. It's very hard. Like, it's like, obviously I don't live in America. I don't know anything, you know, I can't experience what the Wild West was like or anything like that, but it's the most stereotypical. It sounds like what you imagine cowboys would talk about. Like, you know, it's obviously that stuff really happened, but it has that sort of, like, you know, boozing all day and doing reckless things, and it just has I don't know how to describe it. It is like an outlaw country record, but you know, it's really fantastic. To be honest, to get what's happening, you really have to listen to the lyrics. Like you can't put this on in the background. You have to listen to what he's talking about. This is a reissue on Numero Group / Bachelors of Paradise. It's a single LP, but it comes in this really thick gatefold here, and there's a booklet showcasing Terry Allen's artwork, and they talk about him as a person and stuff like that. You know, it's absolutely. I got this for $20, so that's absolutely a bargain. I haven't sat down and listened to this whole thing correctly. Okay, here's a hype sticker. Since I am inadequate at describing it, maybe this will help. Legendary Texan artist Terry Allen occupies a unique position straddling the frontiers of country music and visual art. He has worked with everyone from Guy Clark to David Byrne. Widely celebrated as a masterpiece, arguably the greatest concept album of all time. Big call. His spare, haunting 1975 debut LP, Juarez, is a violent, fractured tale of American Southwest and borderlands. That will do. I mean, that should sell it to you. It's cool. It's really cool. It's like his voice, you instantly imagine, you instantly know his character. It's very unusual, and it's definitely something I can't compare it. I don't know where I can compare it to, or I don't have the knowledge to compare it to something. Yeah, I don't know. It takes you on a journey. It transports you to a place and a time. Like, you know, it's basically what you imagine those borderland states would be like in the 70s, you know. Those things you see in the movies. Okay. This is, I suppose, a nice little tie-in. This is a Japanese pressing of Guy Clark Old No. 1. No, we're still recording. I am very late to this record, to the point where I only sort of discovered it, you know, sort of 8 months ago. Absolutely wonderful. You know, I've read about Guy Clark, and through the Heart-Worn Highway sort of became familiar with LA Freeway, the track, and this is his record, Old No. 1. Yeah, it's an outlaw country record is the genre. I hate using, I don't know, that term doesn't really sit right with me, but I guess that's the way you describe it. Absolutely beautiful, gorgeous, really, not personal, but intimate lyrics. Has like a strange like nostalgia. I don't know how to describe it. It's really great. It sounds absolutely wonderful. Yeah, Guy Clark, Old No. 1. This Japanese press sounds fantastic too. Should we change it up? Are you guys getting bored of drone? I'll put something more fun on in the background. Let's go for fun. Alright. Fun! Here we are. This is another recent vinyl find. I'm really loving this record. This has been on rotation the past couple of days. Pretty high. Lord Kitchener, Melody of the 21st Century. Now, so, I'm part of a closed group on Google Plus. Whoever uses that, I don't know why. We picked Google Plus, and Fred and Christian and Anthony and Champ Sound and myself are in, and we just post records between the 5 of us, which is great. I love that group. I have a lot of fun in there. Anyway, Christian posted a record by Lord Kitchener, which is a name that I had heard, and I assumed or thought he was a reggae artist. And I said to Christian, you know, what's this about? And he said, it's very hard to describe, but think of calypso music. And he mentioned something about the UK. Anyway, he talked about soca. I assume it's soca, S-O-C-A as a genre. And I was like, I don't know what that is. I haven't heard about it. So I started researching this genre called soca, or S-O-C-A, I'm not sure you pronounce it. And I was learning about how it's sort of music that came from Trinidad and Tobago, you know, it later got influenced by reggae, but it was traditional music of people from that area, and they took it with them to the UK, and a lot of soca took off, and you know, a lot of immigrants. The first wave of immigrants into the UK from Trinidad and Tobago played a lot of soca. It's sort of a mix of calypso and reggae, sort of. It's very hard to describe. This is a later record by Lord Kitchener. From what I gather, soca he started doing this later on. This is what I read on Wikipedia. It's very hard to describe, and I don't even fully know myself what soca. I haven't got a proper handle on it. But to me, I hear calypso, I hear reggae, I hear African music as well. You know, I hear different sounds. But I'm really enjoying this. Look at that outfit too. Yeah, music from Trinidad and Tobago. To me, this, you know, I don't know anything, but this sounds very African with steel drums. I think this is really cool. You know, this cost me $9. What do I know? Anyway. Alright, should we go a bit weirder, or should we go a bit more, you know, I've got a lot to get through, I should stop messing around. This is an artist you may have heard of, Back Slabbath. I'm not going to talk about this. I'm not going to, you know, I feel like if I could count how many times this has been shown in the VC, it would probably be, it would equate to the amount of subscribers I have right now. I'll just leave it at that. It's just the one I didn't have. You know, it's a great record. It's a cornerstone record for metal, I would say. You know, and I've been sort of wanting some sort of vintage pressing for a while. I think this is a later UK press. Could be wrong. This was part of a big trade where I took in about 30 records. This is an Australian pressing. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is an Australian pressing on RCA. So it sounds great to me. Do I need to tell you what tracks are great on here? I'm sure you know this already. You know, NIB is probably my favourite on this one. Alright, we'll continue with a couple more classics here. You may have heard of this record. The Velvet Underground. Now, the local store put a sticker on it, and annoyingly, it's made that weird mark on it. Anyway, as for the Velvet Underground, this one is definitely way less avant-garde, more song-based. This is definitely Lou Reed moving things into a more pop direction. It is a gorgeous record, though. What's on here? What Goes On, Candy Say, Some Kind of Love, Pale Blue Eyes. What would, you know, like, as an opening, 4 tracks, you know, it's wonderful. I'm Set Free. Even the track After Hours is beautiful. Yeah, I mean, this is a UK pressing. I think this is a, Jesus Christ, it's not like me to not know what I'm talking about here. I'm sure this is a UK press of some sort. Or maybe it's not, it's on MGM. Maybe it is a US press. Clearly I haven't looked into this too carefully as of yet. Does it really matter? Do you really care what pressing this is? No. Anyway, yeah, cornerstone record again, absolutely wonderful. I'm throwing my head in now because I can't find any reference of what pressing this is. Oh no, here we go. UK press. Okay, there we go. Answer solved. Great record. I basically now, for years, honestly, I could not find Velvet Underground records anywhere. For years, honestly, so I've got a New Zealand pressing of the Banana self-titled that I bought for $12, you know, about 10 years ago, I'd say. And then since then, I I've been wanting to get original copies of White Heat, and then in the past 16 months I found 2 copies, which is very odd, really cheap, and I gave one away and kept one for myself, you know, weird. And then a month after that I found a copy of original US pressing of Loaded for $30. I was like, what is going on here? And I was like, all I need now is this one. And I also found the VU record, which is like the outtakes and bonus songs, for $10. And I was like, what is this weird thing? Like, I've been looking forever and it happens to come, and I was like, I need, you know, if I find Velvet Underground self-titled, I'll be happy. And lo and behold, this was there. Then this one was the most I paid, but it was part of a trade thing, so I had trade credit, so, you know, it's just weird. It's weird how things happen like that. You know, they've been a favourite of mine for a very long time. I remember hearing The Strokes in 2001 before I knew the Velvet Underground. And I heard the Velvet Underground and I was like, what the hell I can hear? You know, it was very strange. Because, you know, I thought The Strokes was so unique. I mean, I guess they were, but really they just ripped off the Velvet Underground big time. Onwards and upwards. Not really upwards. You can't really go upwards with the Velvet Underground, can you? Surely. We can definitely go sideways. Again, this is a VC influenced purchase. A couple of months ago, everyone was talking about this again for some reason. I think a few people picked up copies. Fucking hell, I can't pronounce this. I'm sorry, guys. Le Mystère des Voix Bulgares, which is a Bulgarian choir, basically. This record was picked up on reissued on 4AD, reissued on Non Such Records. David Burden was a massive fan of this. This is sort of like described on the internet as one of the first records that was termed world music. You know, the scourge that is the world music genre. This is the original press, original Swiss pressing on discs Cellier. Absolutely gorgeous, haunting, floating vocal. I mean, vocal experimental stuff isn't my bag normally. Like, I really struggled to get into Philip Glass Koyanikatsi. Like, I found that hard. You know, Dolmen music by oh my god, what's her name? You know, on ECM. That one's called Dolmen music. That vocal avant-garde stuff, I found that's like hard to get into. Anyway, this just knocked my socks off. Absolutely wonderful stuff. Yeah, traditional Bulgarian choir, often with little bits of, you know, a little bit of something in the background just to keep. I don't know. No, the choir is the main thing, the whole record. But there's a couple of drum bits here and there, and a couple of soft guitars that just add a backlay to it. This is wonderful. This is really wonderful. I think Roger Coleman and Anthony probably were the two that switched me onto this. There you go. I found this for $5. I mean, that's what it's worth on Discogs, but, you know, can't pass that up. Absolutely wonderful. Alright, time for another sip. We've got a few more to go here. I better speed it up a bit. Alright, the Pentangle. This is their self-titled debut record. Absolutely perfect blend of jazz and rock. Like, absolutely perfect blend. Sorry, jazz and rock. Jazz and UK folk, or folk music in general. This is a stunning record, and I've been after a Japanese pressing because I just knew how dynamic this would be, and it's joyous. It sounds incredible. I'm really happy to get this finally. To be honest, I knew of this record for ages, and I had a few Pentangles, and I'm like, I've got enough Pentangle records. I don't need to get any more. And Anthony told me that it's the one to get. Is this one? And I was like, really? He's like, yes, it's the one to get. And I think he eventually got it, but I was like, okay, maybe he's onto something here. And I hadn't heard it, and I listened to it, and I was like, wow, okay, this is great. This is really good. And there you go. I don't know how to describe it. It's jazzy folk, which might sound terrible, but it works really well. It's a great record. It's a really great record. We'll leave it at that. Okay, next up was a gift by Ben, my friend Ben in Auckland. Hi Ben, I don't know if you're watching this, you might be. Ben is someone that I guess started watching my video. I don't know when you started watching my videos. A while ago, and I knew he was based in Auckland, and I've met up with Ben a few times in real life now. We've hung out and gone to record stores, and it's cool that, you know, Ben doesn't make videos, but he comments and he writes on the Facebook pages quite a bit, and I really enjoy hanging out with him. It's cool to have him meet someone, you know, through the VC. You know, I've said it before, but I'm going to tell the Lord story, should I say? Ben and I went for dinner in Auckland a couple of weeks ago. We went for Indian, and we were having a couple of beers, and I looked up to the right of me, and Lord was like, you know, the singer, Lord, like she's like the famous, I think she's really, really big, and you guys know Lord. She's like the New Zealand's biggest export. Was sitting there next to us. Well, she was standing next to me, and I sort of was like, had a bit of a weird moment where I was like, I know that person. And Lord was just standing there. Anyway, a few minutes later, she walked out of the restaurant, but it was very strange. Anyway, I'm getting way off topic here. What was I talking about? So yeah, Ben is someone that I consider a really good friend, and I met him through the VC, which is great. Ben gifted me this record. He said he noticed I've been in the Beach Boys kick, and that's completely true. After seeing, I talk about this all the time. After seeing that movie, what is it called? Shit. There's a biopic on Brian Wilson that came out a couple of years ago that absolutely changed my viewpoint on the Beach Boys. And I listened to them almost with fresh ears and a fresh angle, and it all made sense, you know. So I've been picking up, you know, I've got about 4 or 5 Beach Boys records before, where previously I had 0. This was one of the ones that I was missing that I just has alluded. Alright, I had this record a long time ago and I sold it. It was one of the first records I bought, and I sort of wanted it back for a long time. It's a classic. I mean, Long Promised Road is wonderful. Disney Girls, 1957. Field Flows. Day in Life of the Tree. It's really great. This is a New Zealand pressing, but it's on the Beach Boys' Caribou label, which is very interesting. I first heard Field Flows on that movie Almost Famous by Cameron Crowe. That movie made a massive impact on me. Seeing that, it really got me into 70s rock and roll, and really, at the time I was really into Led Zeppelin, so it was, you know, and Sabbath and stuff like that, and learning about Lester Bangs and stuff like that. You know, that was really big for me, and hearing Field Flows was what led me to this record. So I'm really happy to get it back, and Ben gave this to me as a gift, so I'm super happy with that. Thank you, Ben. Ben was the person that gave my spare Velvet Underground white heat to, so there you go. Karma. Internet karma. There you go. That's that. Moving on. Move more into a Indian vein. This is Ravi Shankar, 6 records, 6 ragas. What label is this on? Capital. There we go. I bought this record. I DJ'd at a record fair last Saturday, so a week ago, which was kind of a weird experience. It was very cool though, because I got a DJ tab where I could drink, and I got to dig for records in between sets of playing music. And my friend Ezra, who is in a band called Earth Tongue, he is selling a whole bunch of records to go and tour overseas. Like, he's going to be playing gigs in Europe. So if you guys in Europe, please go check out Earth Tongue. They're like a, oh man, it's so hard to describe. Black Sabbath with female vocals, but way more dynamic and choppy. Anyway, he was selling his record collection, and he gave me. I got some really good deals on a few Blue Note records, which I'll show in a later video. But I got this for a couple of dollars. Ravi Shankar, 6 records. Now, what I like about this is they're very succinct. There's 6 ragas, and they all last, you know, roughly about 7 minutes. Yeah, 7 minutes each. So, you know, other Shankar records, you know, where it's one side long raga that builds up. These ones, you know, as you can hear, they don't mess around. They get straight into them. Super percussive. Yeah, this is really great. This is an absolute keeper for me. I'm really enjoying this. Suitably psychedelic cover as well. Alright. About 5 or 6 more, bear with me. Alright, these next two were VCLT from Roger Coleman, which I'm super thankful of. I can't believe you gave me this. Dreading of Babylon. Again, this is a record I only discovered 6 months ago, and I picked up a reissue of it. This is an original US press promo copy, and I can tell you, Roger, this sounds a million times better than the reissue I have. Must be from a CD or something like that, because this just knocks it out of the park. I'm over the moon. I was grinning after you sent me this. I'm grinning opening it now because this is could be my favorite reggae record. Part of me was wondering if it's possible to remove the promo thing, you know, with if I put like some hot air on it. It's probably too high risk, isn't it? I shouldn't do that, especially not now. I don't know how to describe this. I've described this before in a previous video, so I don't need to do it again. But again, a massive thank you to Roger. That's you know, wow. I'm really happy. And this is the one that I didn't know what to expect that Roger sent me. This is Mary Halverson, and I've forgotten the other guy's name, but I was expecting this to be a free jazz record, as is her later stuff, but that's not even. It's not what that is at all. Kevin Shea is the other one. This is like a freaking. I thought it was like Slint at first, but that's not true. Angular, experimental. I don't know. This is not what I was expecting, but I love it. It's so hard to describe. It's so unique. You know, I had all this stuff in my head I was going to say about this record, and now I've had, you know, a fair bit to drink, and I can't remember any of it. But you know what? I'm going to put it on. You know, you know what Ravi Shankar sounds like. This is nothing groundbreaking. We'll chuck on some Mary Halverson. Well, actually, the band together, 2 of them are actually called. It's just called People. That's all I know. People. We'll chuck it on. I don't know. That drumming. Yeah, this is not what I was expecting. I only know a couple of her records, and yeah, this is not what I was expecting. But I love it. I love this. I love this. It's really great. It's so weird. So they're almost getting into a groove, but then they're like, no, we can't do that. Anyway, moving on. This is a record that I've talked about before many times. This is a favorite of mine. I have a reissue of this, of questionable sources, but I found this for $10. When was this? On Tuesday, so 4 days ago. This is an original UK pressing on SST. And again, it sounds like night and day compared to my weird reissue. It sounds, there's just so much more like crunch in the guitars. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, an absolute well worth it upgrade for me. I remember hearing, before I knew Hüsker Dü were, or anything about this sort of music, I heard Celebrated Summer on a compilation of like, it was called like the top 100 guitarists of all time, and it was a zip file of MP3s, and this was on there, and it blew me away. I didn't understand how, like, why it sounded so lo-fi, and I just thought it was, for years I thought it was like a bad recording, and I didn't really, and I thought it was a live version. And I remember hunting, you know, I was buying CDs, but I didn't see any Hüsker Dü ones in New Zealand. And I was hunting on the internet, looking for files, trying to find like a high quality version of Celebrated Summer. And I finally, you know, sort of realized that, you know, that's the most lo-fi, but it is a lo-fi song. The whole record is kind of lo-fi. And it sort of felt a bit weird. And then, so for years, I only knew that MP3 of this record. And I listened to it to death. And then, but I never really got into many other Hüsker Dü records, but I love this record. And then I got this bootleg. It's sort of a weird repress thing. I don't even know if it's an official repress or whatever of New Day Rising. And that one didn't sound that great either. So I just sort of, and then I bought that, you know, 5 or 6 or 7, maybe even 8 years ago, and I just assumed that, you know, that's how it sounded. But when I heard it on this, sure, it's lo-fi, sure it's not the greatest sounding recording, but it has it sounds different, it's got more detail than I heard before. So, you know, I assume I'd been hearing some sort of weird CD copy or something. Anyway, essential record for me. New Day Rising, there we go. Alright guys, we got 3 more, so hang in there, almost there. I was going to try and make a 3rd video tonight, where I show all the Blue Note records that I've picked up in the last sort of 8 months. But I feel like that is sort of a semi-serious topic, and I have to be able to explain. You know, it's easy to talk about different records and different styles, but when they're all Blue Note and they're all jazz, that's kind of hard to talk about and to differentiate, and I'm not really feeling up to that right now. Like, how do you talk about them specifically? It's hard, it's tough. Maybe I don't even need to. Anyway, Syd Barrett. Sorry, Barrett. Do you guys remember someone called Crate Junkies that used to make videos many years ago? Does anyone remember that guy? Anyway, at this DJ thing last week, this was my score and a half. I paid $15 for this. I'm not sure what that is in USD, but this is it's like a third original pressing or whatever of this record. Now the first pressing goes for like $250, you know. So it's you know, like, I think it's basically came out 18 months after the original pressing. And to be 150% clear with you guys, I'd never heard this record before, and I've bought it. You know, I sort of wanted it just because I really like the early Pink Floyd records. I've never heard this before. I've never heard any tracks off this one before, but it gets a lot of love in the VC and a lot of credibility, and it's, you know, Syd Barrett. So to get $15 was, you know, amazing. And I love this record. It's not at all what I thought it would be like. Baby Lemonade, Dominoes, Gigolo Out is my favourite track. You know, I heard it for the first time just a week ago, and I fell in love with it. It's really wonderful. Is the Madcap Laughs like this? I don't know. Let me know. I don't know. I don't know. But you know, this is like got the textured sleeve. It's basically unplayed. That was a massive score. Barrett, Syd. Alright, Now, I bought a Four Men with Beards record, which I vowed never to do again because I hate that record label. But unfortunately, when the originals go for $4,000, sometimes you have to just get the reissue. Folk Roots, New Roots, Shirley Collins and Davy Graham. This is a record that I had no freaking idea about 18 months ago, and now it's, you know, you know, it's up there. That's all I'll say. Shirley, you know, I did know Shirley Collins. I knew of her more than I knew of her, and I discovered her because back in like the indie early 2000s, when that was the stuff that was out, the Decemberists lead singer talked about Shirley Collins a lot. I was aware that she was a folk singer, but I never really heard her music. Yeah, this is fantastic. This is really fantastic. I love that font too. Purely from a graphic design point of view, it's a wonderful cover. Soaring, beautiful, a little bit strange. I don't know how to describe it. I'm sorry, I'm not doing this justice. Anyway, for Four Men with Beards, this sounds wonderful. I wish I could say more about it. Davy Graham, the stuff he's doing, midway through the album, he switches from more of a traditional folk style to like a Eastern influence style, and it really changes the pace, and it really breaks up the stuff. I'm just looking at the track, see if there's anything I can make any comment on, but I cannot. But yeah, this is wonderful. It's just, you know, like, music is constantly amazing. You know, like you can think you know stuff. I mean, I've been making this video for 5 years. I've been learning for 5 years. I think I've got, you know, a pretty good handle on music in general. Like, you know, I would say I know a fair bit. But, you know, when something like this, you know, I've known about this for probably about a year now. But before that, you know, it's like, how did I not, you know, I just didn't know. It's amazing. I don't know. It just makes me wonder, where do I go next? What do I learn about next? Where's the next thing that blows me away? You know, is there an end point? when can you learn everything? I don't know. Where do you go? I don't know. Anyway, getting deep. This is the last one. The Slits Cut. Not an easy record to find these days. I went digging with my friend Dan, who came down to visit. We went out to an old shop that had this, and when I saw it in the boxes, you know, I thought that I'd sort of got an absolute score, but the guy didn't have a price on it, and he went and checked Discogs and gave me a Discogs price, and they ended up haggling back and forth. And put it this way, this pressing, which is an original UK pressing, goes for minimum $90 on the internet. So I said, no, that's too much. I'm not paying $90 for this record. That's just stupid. So I ended up doing a bit of back and forth and a bit of negotiating here and there. And at the point, I sort of said, I'm not going to buy anything else. I'm just going to walk away. And I managed to put a big discount on this, and I got it for a really reasonable price. Cut the Slits. What can I say? This is a classic. Typical Girls is a song that I've known for a very long time. You know, instant hit. I really like the song Newtown. I try and play this the track. I live in a suburb called Newtown, so I try and play the track Newtown when I'm out playing records. Post-punk, dub, reggae, punk, you know, riot. I'm not gonna say riot girl. It's not riot girl. That's terrible. I'm not gonna say that. Yeah. The bass playing from, oh my god, I've completely forgotten the name. Is it Palm Olive? It's on here. Is incredible. What a groove. But yeah, that's fantastic. And we made it to the end. That was a lot of talking. Oh god, it's 10:30 already. How did that happen? Alright, I am going to go. I'm going to finish this whiskey. I've got to get up and watch the France-Argentina knockout match soon. I don't know what to expect. I don't know. I kind of want France to go through. I think I do. But then I also feel sorry for Lionel Messi. But really, should I feel sorry for him? We'll leave it at that. Alright guys, thanks for watching. See you later. Cheers.